What's going on, guys? Today we're going to be talking about why more black women should consider marrying white men, and we're starting right now.
Brim low on my fitted, dreams has always been vivid. I'm just trying to go get it, catch me right around and I'm ignorant, I'm just rolling.
So, this article came out on April 1st, but it was not an April Fool's joke. It hit my group chat and sparked a conversation because it was written by a black man. I was gonna say a black man, and his name is Ralph Richard Banks, aka Mr. Banks. Mr. Banks, from the bottom of my heart, let me be the first to say,
shut up, bitch!
I do my best to not come off as biased, so if I read your article and it was about black men marrying other races, you get the same smoke from me. But one could argue the New York Post would never, ever dare to post something like this about black men marrying out, because you don't want those kind of problems with black women.
No.
So let's break down this dumbass article. It starts off with a picture of Justice Brown Jackson and her husband. First off, congrats to her. Love who you wanna love. I have nothing against interracial relationships, but I do have something against women hyphening their last names. You take my last name or don't take my ring at all.
Damn right.
To me, it always shows a lack of commitment on your part. And if I agree to stop giving out this long dick to other women, I need a full commitment on your end as well. But at least she hyphenated it. Now, Miss Kamala Harris, on the other hand, decided not to take her husband's last name at all. But anyways, that's none of my business. Am I the only one that thinks there's something really weird about a black man saying marry white men? Why not Spanish, Asian, or Indian? Why white men specifically? The article states the effect of racism has left well-educated black women with a paucity of black male partners. Paucity. That's a TI word. Anyways, so you're saying racism is the reason black men don't finish high school or go to college? If you believe that, then why aren't you preaching about providing more resources for these black men? In fact, one could argue instead of telling black women to date white men, black women should be demanding more programs and support for black sons. So in the future, they can become desirable black men, black fathers, black role models. But Mr. Banks, you don't care about those black men. In fact, what you're advocating for is just abandoning them. There's no hope for them. But that's your logic, not mine. You see, I don't believe that men dropping out of school is racist. I went to a black high school and a HBCU. Didn't see a Caucasian in sight. The truth is, school is just boring and it hasn't changed in years. But what has changed is those prices.
Yesterday's price is not today's price.
And that tuition been hitting way before inflation. So when I went to school, tuition for graduating seniors was $16,000. And my same school 10 years later is $30,000. Most men just don't want to do it. They're not signing up for that debt when you can get a bag a different way. And the average black woman has way more debt than the average black man. This article reads, according to Brookings Institute data, black men are less likely than black women to have completed high school and 50% less likely to have attained a 4-year degree. My thoughts on that is, this isn't a black problem. Men in general are not going to college. The article states, yet despite the shortage of suitable black partners, black women have also been the least likely of any minority group to marry outside of their race, according to data. So are you saying all black women are suitable partners because of their degrees? Because that's just cap. Men have often said in the past they don't care about a woman's degree. They look for fit, friendly, and women that respect them. But most women have a hard time respecting a man that isn't making good money. And listen, I respect the loyalty from black women. Love who you want to love, but that black love, well, it hits different. I've dated women of other races and different problems come from it. Like just being accepted by friends and family because of your race, or being fetishized because of your body or your third leg. As a man, if you use me for sex, no one cares. I might a little bit, but I've had multiple black women tell me stories about how they were pursued by men of other race just because they wanted to know what it was like to be with a black girl. So yeah, that grass ain't always greener on the other side. But anyways, the article reads, rather than partner with men of other races, many heterosexual black women either don't marry or marry black men with whom they are not especially well matched. And these mismatched relationships contribute to African Americans having the highest divorce rate of any racial group. In fact, black women are the only demographics to have a higher divorce rate than marriage rate. So many things to break down in this section. But first, women don't want to lower their standards. Instead, they'd rather die alone than date a man that's average like them.
That's stupid. Use your common sense.
You see, men, we settle all the time with no problems. And if I wasn't attractive, charming, and successful,
Nigga, please.
I'd be cool with settling too. Let's be honest, most of you people are average. You have average jobs and live average lives. In fact, the average woman with a degree doesn't make more money than the average truck driver. You also said black women were getting divorced more than married, but everyone knows 80% of divorces are filed by women. So when they find a husband, they say this isn't working. They try to do better, and oftentimes that's just not the case. But here comes the money grab in this article. Here's a shameless plug to his book. It reads, I explain in the book why black women should not be pressured to sacrifice their own chances for happiness out of some misplaced loyalty to black men. Nor should black women feel beholden to black men under the guise of advancing the race. If the price of racial solidarity is a bad intimate relationship, then the cost is too high. Black women should not be held hostage to the struggle of black men. This whole article is meant to bring light to his old ass book and panders to black women, because who is holding women hostage in 2022, let alone black women? Women today are as free as can be. They're independent, they don't need a man, they're making more money and not settling for less. So if they have to die alone instead of settling, that's just what they want to do. Let's be honest, women's standards have increased. The average woman no longer exists. All of these women are 10s and queens. Sure, she might be a BBW, but she's a 10. Yeah, her credit messed up and she got a bad attitude, but she's a 10. But the thing is, when it comes to men, we know it's tough to be a 10 because we live in a place called reality. We know our value. And lastly, I find it funny that you wrote a book called Is Marriage for White People when you're married to a beautiful black woman.
Hi, Miss Parker.
Hi, boy.
Who also has not taken your last name. I also found it funny that this article assumes that women are turning down other races of men. Black people in general are seen as the least desirable race. White women and men aren't flocking to marry the average black man or woman. It just is what it is. White men like white women and Asians. So, what are you talking about? Honestly, I don't know. I'm out.